All right, Daniel New popping in says yo. All right, I am going to delete that one. Let's see if it fixed it on Facebook or not. Let's see here. Let me try one more time. Facebook, Sonic FX. Well, I guess we're only going to be live on YouTube tonight.
Uh-oh.
And oh wait, no, no, there I am. It shows me
Oh yeah,
live.
there we go.
All right, so I just got to find it now. There she is. All right. Anyway, there we go. It shows it's on now. All right, let me go to Facebook and refresh so I can see chat on Facebook.
Oh, it's like Tiffany's chimed in on Facebook, says it's working now.
Yep, 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 yep. No, wait, not the share. I need to click on it.
Tiffany's chimed in on Facebook.
There we go. Now I can see everybody on Facebook. I can see, hey, if you're on Facebook, hit something in the chat real quick. I just want to make sure it's working. Group, write a message. Let's see. Cory, Mr. Cyclone. All right, I'm going to start sharing it. Oh, there we go. Facebook, it's working. Yes. Welcome back, 2024. High test. Everything seems to be working. Cool. Hey, Jeffrey, so what did you do for your new year while I'm sharing this out?
New Year's.
Yep.
Oh, it was pretty lackluster.
Me
I
too.
was in bed
You were in bed. Were you
fighting
sick
this
again?
fighting this cold. Yeah, gee, it's like, man. But for the holidays, I guess we could kind of kick it
Yeah.
back to Christmas. We weren't on the air back then, but yeah. So I ended up going down to SoCal, spend the holidays with family out there. Uh, Justin says Jeffrey doesn't remember last week. Hey, with this cold, I felt like I was out of it. But so yeah, we were in SoCal for the holidays. We ended up driving out there. It was a road trip.
Woo.
It was like 24 hours it came out to, just driving straight. Of course, gas stops, potty breaks, and stuff like that. Plus, we brought our puppies with us, so we had like puppy breaks too, and all that. So, I do have to mention though, one of the big reasons why we went down to SoCal was because my daughter was having a baby.
Oh,
Yes,
congratulations.
I'm a grandpa now, believe it or not. So, but we were actually on our way back. We were driving back,
Uh-huh.
and my daughter didn't have the baby yet. We got a call saying that the baby was coming. So we were already like 4 hours into the drive. We were in Arizona, and then we're like, well, we got to drive back. So we ended up driving back to California. My daughter had the baby. Uh, it was a 7 pound, 20-inch baby girl. They named her Nova Soul.
Nova Soul.
So
And when was the birth date?
December 28th.
So my middle daughter is December 27th.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yep,
Yeah, a
yep,
lot of
yep.
December birthdays, I noticed.
Oh. So that's kind of rough with the when they get older. We actually, for my daughter, we would do her birthday party in June for her because Christmas and when you commingle them, they feel like they get gypped as they get older.
Yeah, that was kind of like the general consensus was like, do you get two gifts or
Yeah, 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 yeah. So we did a birthday in June for her. So that's kind of how we resolve that issue ourselves. Me, I'm still stuck in Reno. My wife abandoned me
Ooh,
for Christmas
what?
and New Year's. She went to Wichita to go visit our daughter. And so yeah,
Bummer.
so that's what they went and did. She hung out in Wichita, came back on January blah 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 3rd or 4th or something like that. and and you know, looking at, she sent me a couple houses in Wichita, so
Uh-oh.
she wants to move bad. So, and I will tell you, one of the houses she sent me kind of fits what we're looking for. I'm just saying.
Does it come with a lake in the backyard?
It does. A pontoon boat, a lake that you can scuba dive and fish in. So,
Wow.
kind of meets all the criteria. So, it's a little overpriced. So I
In
don't know.
Wichita?
Well,
Or probably for what
they're
you
overvaluing what it is.
hmm.
Zillow says it's like 60,000 less than what they're trying to value the house at.
Hmm.
So, but it is what it is, right? And anyway, so we're looking at different things and whatnot. Other than that, I'm still in Reno working. I'll be here. This is probably my last week in Reno. So, and then
Oh, I
after
bet you're
this,
happy.
I am.
You're excited.
Kind of established myself in the bowling community here, and that's you know, kind of a bad thing, right? Being known is not a good thing when you do the things I do when I bowl. So you don't want to be known. But anyway, yep. So we got everything up and working. Everything looks pretty good. Um, I'm getting comments and whatnot. Anyway, let's introduce our guest, Mr. Corey. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I don't know. How do I do that?
Tell us who you are, your name, why we're having you on here, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. uh, Cory Christensen up here from Lloydminster, Saskatchewan area, Canada.
That's in
Canada.
Canada. That's right.
Yeah. So for y'all know what temperature it is here tonight is a -5 Fahrenheit.
-5 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
-1 this morning when I came in Reno, so
Ooh.
yeah, right.
I
So
feel it.
yeah, we've had El Nino. It's cold. We've been sitting around 20, 30 degrees most of the last month with no snow, and now we had a little snow, and yeah, it feels more like winter now, and it hurts.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
anyway, that's just the
so
nature of life here.
Wow.
there's Eric Hansen. Oh, Joel Yimit finally popping back in. Rosa Espinosa. It says congrats. Um,
Grandpappy.
Grandpappy. So Corey here held the Cyclone world record 4 times, I believe, is what I
Oh,
was told.
wow.
And for which class? 3 times?
Cyclone wall is what it was then.
Ooh, Cyclone wall, huh? So did Jose Ramos, did he unseat you as the Cyclone wall record holder?
No,
Oh, who was it?
No.
Kenny Kapner.
Oh, Kenny,
I think
that was out of Utah or
I think he's
something,
out,
right?
yeah, out of that area, right?
Yeah,
That
Andy's
yeah.
area.
that big red
I'm, I'm,
truck.
that's right.
Yeah.
Suburban versus suburban. Yeah, and I can't remember his partner's name right now. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, it was good. I mean, we had a lot of fun and little battling back and forth, but
Yeah,
just
he's been doing it for a while. I recall when RTA was still a part of Cyclone. They were
yeah,
heavy into it.
yeah, it sure
Oh,
was. Yeah, and then yeah, just
oh.
things in life changed and the affordability of it. I mean, anybody
Mm.
that knows when you're that big in the game, it's a big cost.
Oh yeah.
So just couldn't afford to buy new amplifiers anymore. Cost of doing shows, it's hundreds of dollars every weekend, and so yeah, let it go and have a break and let some other people, rise up in the ranks too, because you can't be on top all the time.
You know,
There's
No.
yeah.
one thing I learned, people kind of get defeated and give up. So,
And that's
you
what I
know,
tell people sometimes. It's like things happen in life where they kind of have to step away, and assuring them, hey, take as much time as you need. We'll still be here. So
Yeah.
you're proof of that as well. So you stepped away and you came back, and
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't planned to come back, I guess. It was just thing playing with it. Completely different build. Couldn't get the numbers out of it last year, and then started playing with a few ideas and what to do. And mostly it became my daughter's car because, I didn't need it and just built it just to play for something. And yeah, I mean, she wanted to join in and started to, do the work, come up with ideas, and met some people that had some stuff. And next thing you know, things come together, and a lot of building in the month of August to make things happen.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've never done an ISO build ever, so it was pretty wild.
Yeah. Oh, so before we get too far into this, real quick, I do want to say, um, out here in California, they had a big show down in Fresno this last weekend. Ray Aragon, one of the shops, used to be Ray West's shop, um, Audio Innovations, I think. Anyway, they had a show this weekend commemorating his daughter, I believe, that passed away. So his Angel had passed away, I believe, in a car wreck or something, and it was a commemorative show. And they did a great job, and I think they posted audio concepts, and then uh, so they did. I think they raised like $1,100 for that to help Ray Aragon with some of the expenses. And part of the reason I bring that up is our community is a big deal about passing it on and getting our families involved. And, Cory was one of the reasons we invited Cory on tonight is he's kind of trying to pass it on with his daughter. And so, there's pictures online of them with Don Hebig and
wow.
doing their thing. So
Oh, they're in good
once
hands then.
that's right.
Yeah.
If Don's helping you, well, he's in
Yeah.
Saskatchewan,
Ah.
so we're trying to get Don back on. His schedule and Monday nights don't necessarily align very well, so
Hmm.
but we are trying
Yeah.
to get him back on. Anyway, so your daughter's doing this. Why don't you tell us about your build, the car it's in, and the and how you built it? I know you said it's an ISO system, which is not very common for what we do. But why don't you tell us about it? That's an old school build there.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, my original build was my Suburban 418s and a flat wall,
Hmm.
VFL 500.1 on each one. That was the
That's
original goal.
American based for people that don't know, by the way.
Yeah. And some of these guys there, the old VFLs, this one there suffered some
Whoa.
neck stretches there at 20 hertz, but
A little woofer carnage.
Yeah.
but yeah, so went from a flat wall ported box. I've never been one to build bandpass, fourth order, fifth order, just I don't know, too much math, too much rise. Um, just isn't my gig. So when I built this car, I just built the box inside the trunk, knowing making it as big as I could make it.
Okay.
Fit a VFL in there because I had one laying around. And I don't know, a daily build, like, 35, 40 hertz tune on the port. And I don't know what the amp is. It's one Dawn got me, and I think it's around 3,000 watts at 1 ohm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So just one red top in the trunk and whatever under the hood, and that was that. So last year, extended the port out because you're only so far in the trunk, seat down, extend it out, trying to make it peak to 20. And I couldn't get it to 20, so I had to use my old crossover, that PPI one I had since I don't even know how long, but you turn that guy down to 20, and then it helps stop anything above 20, right? but
Right.
score just couldn't peak real good. And I don't know if I was breaking 200. Yeah, maybe 204. But
Oh, not a
boy,
bad score at all.
no,
Yeah.
on a single 18. But boy,
Right.
did that 60 seconds ever change the game, because
Yes.
you slinky woofers real
Ooh,
bad.
yeah.
You know, I come from 30 seconds and you I just know push, push, push. Start to smell. Oh man, another 10 seconds left and it's gone.
Right. And
So
now 60 seconds, that's a little bit more than 10 seconds beyond.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So that was the biggest thing. It cost me a few woofers, coils mostly, right? So hard to find, hard to get. American base, you know, had some recones, but you know, struggling trying to get them. So Scott Van Ripper, you know, we had some. You know, we've been friends for a lot of years. Bought some coils off of him. Got Donald to recone them, and back in business.
Don Hebig
And
says he made it in, so he's watching.
yeah, Donald.
Is there anything special he did with the woofers to get it to play 20 hertz and not slinky, or
No,
no?
just a standard
Just
VFL
his
coil.
own touch.
That's right. I don't know. I know he reused the cones
Mhm.
and the surround. So he does his magic, cutting that stuff apart, saves the parts. I don't know about the spider pack. I'm pretty sure it was the same pack, but I can't say. You would have to chime in on that.
Okay.
But yeah,
So,
I mean,
okay, so one of the other questions too that everybody likes to know the answers to. So who got you started in the car audio industry?
um, realistic,
Yeah.
Sparkomatic, Radio Shack.
So I
Ooh.
know, but who's the one who would inspired you? Just some guy driving down the street, an uncle, a dad, or what inspired you to get into car audio?
I just born with it. I was 7 years old, going into Radio Shack, getting mother to buy some 6x9 speakers and a deck, cassette deck we could put in the car. And so on the way home, I'm already trying to take that car apart so we can not listen to the AM radio.
Ooh.
Well, AM's all that works up there in Canada, right?
Well,
Really?
till about 2000 in this area, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there was one guy,
Mhm.
I guess I want to say it wasn't a vehicle build, but in his house build. But I was already a teenager then. So, you know, it just was something that I was always inspired by. It was just to take things apart, get the speakers out of it, television sets, radios, whatever it was. Just had this infatuation with the speaker, and I'm gonna make it louder. And I had no teacher except myself,
Uh-uh.
so
Yeah.
just doing that. And then by the time teenager life rolled around, my sister was going for her the hairdressing course. She had to do the practicum.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So right in the 90s, had my big old mullet, this, that. So she's taking me in to do a perm on me. And so as I'm sitting in the chair getting this perm done, I could hear the bass. And I was like, where is that coming from? Nobody's like, And so there was a store locally in Woodminster called Tunes Music and Audio. And that's where you could get your stuff. And it was like a little bit above Radio Shack. But, never seen no cars, no builds. But there was, MEI, Pioneer, Alpine, some
Mhm.
stuff like that, but nothing, nothing crazy.
Mostly deck and twos type stereo stuff.
That's right, right? 80s
Yep.
things.
Yep.
And then I was done my thing and I go next door and it was called SAS. And I walked into there and it just blew my mind what they had in that store. There was like soundboards, woofers, mids,
Wow.
amps, stuff I've never even seen names of before. And there was a car inside and it had a trunk build that was like I don't know if it was a fourth or a sixth, but you couldn't see the woofers. There was just a big old port coming out in the middle of the two seats. and you couldn't see in the back, but it was all done up beautifully with the amps. I can't remember what it was that was in there, but yeah, it's just like from then on, I was like, man, I got to find me some good grade woofers. Because at that time I had some Inner 1012s from Radio Shack, and I don't even remember what the first amp was, but whatever they had,
Optimus.
Yeah,
Whoa.
probably.
Yep. So
And,
my first Radio Shack build was their amplified deck. So it had an EQ plus booster, right? So it was a 50-watt booster on my TS6905s, my two 6x9 Pioneer rear deck speakers,
TS.
right? So yeah, and then I had a realistic 15-inch subwoofer, So yeah, I'm down with the Radio Shack thing.
Well, right, it was cheap and it was what was available. Like,
yeah, exactly.
First box made out of a piece of wood that I found at the neighbor's place. I think it was well, the same stuff on the roof here, OSB.
Oh,
okay.
That's whatever, man. You didn't have money, but you made things happen.
Yep. So I know you aren't familiar with it, but so my story is, so I built a wedge box to fit behind the seat of my dad's truck. He had a Ram D50, just a mini truck, right? And so I made a box to fit behind that seat. And I heard if you put a hole in the box, it makes it louder. So I took an 1.5-inch hole saw and right into the side of the box. I don't remember it making it louder though.
No, I do that. I remember that too. Well, then you need a piece of pipe. Sticks a pipe in there.
Yeah. Don Hebig says an Oldsmobile build with 215s, a white one that had a fourth order. I know that
was
car
at the
that
shop.
Cory is talking about. Yep. Damn EQ booster, Doug Stockton, huh? That's from Tristan. Jeffrey, real quick, do we want to address this yet or no? Doug and Jeffrey, do you have any idea who's judging the DV drag on February 24th at Prim, Nevada? Is it still too early to?
I guess we could kind of make the quick announcement. There's going to be a more formal announcement, but it'll, as you know, it's traditionally been Chemo who does the event, the showdown out there at the Vegas show. I have helped him like every once in a while, or I think like 1 year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he unfortunately is not able to make it. So he approached me about judging it. He made a comment saying, "Hey, Jeffrey, you're always in Vegas anyway. You want to do the show?" And I'm like, I don't normally mix business with pleasure when I'm out there, but that's because the showdown was always generally around CES, and I have a fun time at CES. And I one time I helped out Chemo with the event, and it kind of, and then ever since then I hampered the fun just a little bit. It was freezing cold. It was like in the middle of a parking lot, and then I says, I'm not going to mix business with pleasure anymore. But so now that it's in a different I guess date than CES, so I says, hey, okay, yeah, put me in, and so I'll be doing the event this year.
Yep, there you go. If that helps you out, Joel. All right, what's the plan for the new truck, Cory? Oh yeah, that's right.
Truck.
Yeah, so Don
Suburban
Hebig says there's a new truck with a secret build. So you want to tell us anything about that?
Secret.
Yeah, I don't know. I have big ideas, but time and money are another thing.
So
just that we went into finals. So what happened was they got these subs from Donald's brother. These, I don't know what they are. They're from Russia. Can't
Def
think
Bonds?
of the name of them anyway.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
them
Def
big
Bonds?
green ones up there.
Oh, Def Bonds or Alfards.
He can tell you what they are. Yes.
Okay.
And so, yeah, great big 4-inch coil, same as these, big throw, huge monster magnet. Well, the problem is because of the baffle on the back seat, is angled. These things are 12 inches depth, not like 8.
Oh.
12-inch diameter motor, not an 8. Wow, how am I going to make this fit? So start building rings. I cut up 3 sheets, 4x8 birch ply 3/4 just to make rings, and then laminate them together, tip it up, and then lined it up and chopped it so I could offset that baffle angle to be more square for the sub. Get it in there. Awesome. Make 4 more rings, space the distance between the cones. Try and figure out how to put that all together when you got an angle going this way and an angle going that way. So the first thing I knew I needed to do was cut a steel ring and then laminate that to the baffle. So you got something you can screw into and build off of. Get that all together like that. Get it together. Oh yeah, look at that. And so then I take a tape measure and I stick it up there and I send a picture to Ray. Is this legal? No, not quite. I take the mic jig and if it don't fit, it's not legal. Oh, damn it. So pull it apart, make more rings, cut more angle. Well, now this thing is like this, and this one's like this. So yeah, find rods, bolts, get that together, turn it another way, get the other one to mount together so that they're coming out more level, and I got the 10-inch or whatever the measurement was. You don't succeed the first time, just do it again. And then
there was a picture that was posted, right?
There might have been. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back if I got something of it.
Oh, okay. I think Doug had sent me a picture. I think it was on the messenger. But okay, I see now what's going on. So yeah, that's a pretty tall subwoofer. So yeah, so you were trying to mount it on the angle of the of the face, right, of the trunk, and so it would hit the motor would hit like the bottom of the trunk, right? Is that what
the bottom of the box? And I'd already trimmed out the wood of the bottom of the box to fit the motor for the VFL. Well, now this thing is longer and the motor's a bigger diameter, so now it's like you got to cut the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was not an easy task, but I was like, we got to do something to get the numbers right.
Yeah, so it says that's
finally got it together.
ATAR, is that the brand?
Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar.
Oh, Avatar. Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, but they're normally orange baskets, or it looks like there was some orange in here before. But it was painted green. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know the full history behind them, but I think one of the guys that competes out of Lethbridge maybe had them originally. Yeah. Anyway, I got them for a deal. Was good enough price, something better that I could build off of than what the VFLs were doing. They just, I know what their limit was. So we go to the first show, and Mini Steve shows up. You all know Mini Steve?
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
Team Mini.
Team Mini.
Yeah, he's a little bit already like, bugging my daughter about, trying to beat her because we beat him last year. He jumped by much, but just enough, right? He comes walking by the car and he looks in there and he goes, "What the hell is your dad doing now? Is that ever ugly?" And then when I seen him, and I was like, "Yeah, Steve, it might be ugly, but it's gonna work."
Don Hebig says it's the loudest Psychlone trunk on the planet.
Yeah, well,
is it?
We go up. We went up into the
Don
lane.
would know.
Yeah, right.
There's a guy in Texas that had the world record. It was a trunk build. It was a no wall. Carl Robertson, I believe. But yeah, I'd have to look up what his score was. But if Don says it's the loudest, then
yeah, he said he did a 151.6 at 20 hertz.
Ah, okay.
That's pretty solid out of a trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the story goes on. So we run her through that same 3,000 watts. The voltage didn't drop, nothing. And the score come out at like a 147.3 and never even changed. And I was like, man, well, we were struggling to get out of this thing with a 142 or a 143, you know, and the score would come out and it would always lose like 2 dB because of the heat, right?
Right.
And this time the score just stuck, didn't even move. And you could go in there after the run and you could stick your fingers right on them voice coils and they were like ambient temperature. I was just astounded, like unbelievable. This thing has got so much potential.
Yeah.
So carry on, get through the month, finals coming up, pull them subs out again because we got some air leak and some losses doing the final testing, you know? So here we are doing the testing and get inside, reseal all the corners of the box. My daughter, I make her crawl inside that hole and make her do all the taping and all that stuff, like just, and you know, smooth. And then we pull the port apart and glue it all back together because I had to make it in sections because you can't fit, you know, a 6-foot long piece of board into the box through the door with the seat in the way and stuff. So it's all, you know, built in place. And so then you get out the old numbers, right? You got to write down what you're doing and right every little step. You know, and I don't have a term lab. I just have the SPL labs. Right. So it doesn't give you the consistent average. I just kind of run real time and just keep doing whatever, and then you know, and make sure get it tuned down to 20, and then you know you push on the door. Okay, you can't do that. Got to do this, and then eventually, yeah, things come on, and then you start once you get in there, and then you start doing the other one, and you know you're clamping the power.
Most people have like notebooks. He's got his numbers on like cardboard and
empty beer boxes.
There we go. Empty beer boxes. Yeah.
Weird. Oh, Stephen Talbot chiming in from Sacramento. Been a while. This is how y'all folks doing. All right. Hey, so real quick, Tiffany and Tristan, they're out of Bridgetown, Barbados. So they always watch the show. As a matter of fact, I want to give them a quick shout out. They made it into 12 Volt News talking about their business and how they're helping develop the Caribbean into a very nice car audio culture. So, you know, talking about their part in that. So let's see. The question was something about mid boxes. He says loving the mid boxes. This is Tristan saying he loves the mid boxes you have there, Cory. And then he goes, what brand are in the mid boxes you have behind you?
Those towers?
Yes. So are those 8s? What is that?
Those are 6.5 mids that Donald Hebig got off of Alibaba. $5 each.
Alibaba specials.
And the horns, and then the horns were 99 cents.
And it plays in your garage?
Yeah, I'd like to be able to give you guys a demo. Donald built me this system back in 2020. It's unbelievable.
And what are you using
to
power it?
It does 130 dB in here.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty solid. What are you using to power it and to play on the music on it? Look at that. He's got a proper shop and everything.
Look at that. Crowns.
So,
yeah.
So an old EV 7200 for the horns. And then an XLI 1500 for the sub. And then an XL 800 on each one of them towers because there's 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Don says those are from Parts Express, not Alibaba.
Not Alibaba. That's...
I know he likes to send me links to Alibaba, so. But yeah, he can give you more detail on it. They're all sealed, 4 in each box. The horn, all in series, parallel. Got a 4-ohm load.
You know, he could probably throw those on the back of his truck and do
Pankadow. As a matter of fact,
seems like that would be a Pankadow type system.
Yeah. So Joel right here says, "Thanks, Jeffrey. Let's do Pankadow and Prim." I don't see that that's necessarily going to be an issue for him. Do you have the X Sensor X's, Jeffrey?
The super sensors,
Yes.
the super sensors, right?
Yeah.
That I actually do not.
When you
So
plug them in, they don't say Sensor X?
no.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
so I would have to get one of those. We'll
Yes.
see. I know, the whole logistics of that event is
Uh-huh.
with all of those organizations, it's going to be pretty wild. So we're just still kind of talking about it, how it's going to get worked out, and
Uh-huh.
I'd like to, we'll try to get it worked out. I think Andy actually has the the super sensor, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna have him help me at the event as well, so we'll see how that goes, how that works out.
Yeah. I
So
may
Joel,
stop by,
okay.
but it's a drive from Vegas, and I'll be there with my son and some other friends. So I'm not sure if I'll make it or not, but I may stop by out there. Um, it's Joel says, Cory, those horns look great for Pankadao. See, that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they do well. Just can't give them too much clipped. Any clip and they burn the little solder off inside.
Oh,
So
well, what do you expect for what,
Don got
$8
me
woofers or
yeah,
$8 subs?
right. And so Don got me a DSP for 12 volt, like car audio,
Uh-huh.
and you use the computer, and then you set everything, and we set all the crossovers after a year or
Yep.
so of me burning up some horns and things, and crossed everything over properly, just like doing the RTA stuff. And man, everybody that comes in here just is like astounded by the sound. It's
Yep.
just unbelievable how clear and just everything is, right? But
So were those like $8 Canadian or $8 US?
Probably US, coming
Okay.
from Parts Express. Yeah.
Okay, because if there was $8 Canadian, that's only like $2.50 US.
I know,
So-
you guys.
uh, so Rosa says Tusher will be there also. LOL. Glad to hear, because
Ooh.
Moses and Rosa are going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Doing their thing. Speaking of which, so is your wife going to be there? Running
Oh
her
yeah.
car?
Yeah. We're we're gonna do the road trip to Vegas for that show.
Mm-hmm.
So we might throw something in there and have her do a base race. We'll see. We'll see
All
how
right.
much we can get in our car as far as the equipment, the tents, the speakers, and stuff like that. So we might get a small trailer or something, but we're still trying to get that figured out.
Uh-huh. Tristan says, "Is it a Dayton DSP you're using?" It's and
Parts
Don says
Express
it's
special.
yep. And Don says it's $5 US, mid and 78 cents per horn.
Yeah.
Wow,
I don't
it's a
know what
deal.
the DSP is. It's made in China, because even the language on the screen when you go to do it is in China. But
That's
there is
okay.
a translate button or whatever. So yeah,
But Don knows what he's doing with it, right?
that's right.
So
Yeah.
what's your plans with your daughter and competing this year maybe, or how does that
Yeah.
work?
So what happened, right? So at finals, I got some more power, two
Mm-hmm.
VFL 1100s, and that's where we come out with that 152. Just adding that much more power went up, eh?
Right?
And then we didn't know where we were going to end up. It was like watching all the scores, the leaderboard, all that stuff. And it's like, we got a real shot. I put all the work into there. You can get a ring. And we didn't even know that the run had already ran earlier the day before we went at 4 o'clock. And then so when we found out that we got beat, and I was like, wow, good on him, because he did the work. You know what I mean?
Right.
He couldn't do a 52, and his note was up and down. I can't remember his name. Wall Street Ron. And I
Oh,
didn't know
right.
what the build was. Trying to find build picks and this and that. What am I competing against, right?
I think it was
And
a blow through. It was a truck.
yeah, well,
blow through.
that's when I finally found the video after we got done finals and rewatching the footage, and I was like, look at that. It's a 94 or 96 F-150.
Yeah.
It has to be, right?
Or a
Right.
truck.
So I was like, wow, if you want to get better, this car's, you got to strip the whole damn thing and put all the deadener and all that stuff to try and do everything to the cabin mods. And I'm like, I'm not into it. Secondly, the trouble that we had with the car in the spring, the block heater, we plug our cars in here so they can start in the wintertime, right? So it blew the block heater out on her. It dumped all the coolant.
Ooh.
She phones me or sends me a video. My car's on fire. Yeah, under the hood, there's flames.
Whoa, that's not bueno.
So yeah, I get it home, found a motor where Donald lives, $500. Got him bring me the motor. I put this motor in the car, and then it's okay. Everything's going along. Well, now after we're getting so loud at the base, the car is having issues. Like it's
Weird.
losing the key. It couldn't recognize the key. So now you sit 10 minutes and wait and then get it to relearn the key. The gauges stopped working. Like it shook the shit out of everything. Yeah, like,
oh, wow.
And since I pulled the build apart, the car hasn't missed a beat. Not one miss, not one, like nothing, But that 150 dB, man, it just so I got shopping around after I found out what Ron had, right? And I was like, well, you do an SUV, you got to do all the cabin mods, tons of hours, tons of time. I'm like, the dude's got it. You build your box. The box is rigid, solid. You just need a small amount of cabin area.
Right.
Right. Cabin mods, just B-pillar forward.
Yeah.
So got shopping, see what I can find for an old beater truck for $2,000 and kept shopping, the marketplace thing. I'm not very good at it, but people, they got stuff listed. They don't reply or it doesn't,
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, found one within a half an hour drive of me. Saskatchewan plate that I don't need an inspection. It's a 90 Chevy. So
what you got to worry about the 90 Chevy is the grill falling off. I built a friend's car. He had like a 91 or 92 Chevy 2500. So, I mean, it's all the same body, right? The 2500 is the suspension package.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, he had the 2500 and we put 215s with 1500 watts in it. We were doing solid like 46, 48s with it. I mean, it was just a behind the seat build. It wasn't nothing special. And about 6-7 weeks in, the mounts for his grill broke and started busting his grill off of his truck.
Oh, man.
So, just be aware that's a potential issue.
No, I believe it. Yeah.
So, but we didn't deaden his cab at all. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll make it out this year. It's going to see what time and money permits, but the same as any build, it just start somewhere, right? Get the vehicle, got some gear.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest thing is time.
Yeah. Now, are you going to do the same setup isobaric in the Chevy?
I don't know. I have a bunch of ideas, man, and I just don't know what to think of a transmission line, but I don't know how to fit them together.
Out of the bed.
Maybe experiment with a blow through, like a 4th order, 6th order. Do you do the port on the opposite side? Is it going to push it to the mic? So there's so many options because it's a total new build. Something else I haven't done.
I will tell you back in the day how I actually, some of the talks I had with Don were about ported horns, which if you're using the whole bed of a truck, that may be an option for you. And the thing about the ported horns is the bandwidth on them is just so huge. But they like low power. When you can overpower them with compression, so you can compress the horn where it no longer becomes a ported horn, and it actually compresses the air and creates a blockage. You can get so much power in there that I believe it could actually act as like a sealed box at some point. So it's a delicate balancing act, but when you get it right, the results are absolutely amazing.
Well, right, and I agree, Doug, because most any build is that way. you can build it, everything you do on paper, but there's always so much fine tuning. And you got any cabin mods that you start doing after the fact is going to reflect in the box build, right? So
Correct.
so much stuff that you always gotta, that's the notebook thing. Like I just got a pretty good photographic memory, and the things that, you change and then you lose. Well, now you're mad. Well,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for you people that don't know, we've talked about the twins on the show a few times. And anyway, Cory's a friend of the twins and talks to
Okay.
them quite often. And he's supposed to be getting in their ear, trying to get them on the show just to come hang out, just like we're talking with
yeah.
you.
Well,
It's
you
not.
maybe say hello. They might be secretly watching.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go. That would be great. So, but yeah, so no, I'd love to have him on the show just to essentially just talk, just like we're talking with you, and it'd be great. Like I said, I really look forward every year. I really like to get together with all the base heads and the people competing across the world every year. But my some of my favorite people that I look forward to seeing every year was Don and the twins. So, um, and that's not nothing against anybody else out there. It's just, dude, those guys are all about having a good time. They got awesome builds. They're willing to try literally anything. And
Yeah.
it was a good time having them at World Finals. They would always bring a pallet of beer, and they can't take it back across. It'd be the white labeled beer. Can't take it
Right?
back to Canada, so you have to drink it all. So, like I said, they're great guys. I'd love to have them on the show just to kind of talk about how they developed. And yep, here you go. It says, "Hi, Mike and Mark." That's
Hi,
from
Mike and
Don,
Mark.
just in case they're watching. Cali versus Tennessee in March. I don't
Hmm.
know. We may be able to work something out. I don't know why March, and I don't know why Eric is chiming in. He ain't in Cali unless he
Uh,
might be in March.
I think I was approached by Chris Gregory, who asked me how my schedule looked in March.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
but I think it was during a weekend that was a pretty big weekend for sound off competitions. It was USACI World Finals, so I
Oh,
told him
gotcha.
it might not be the best of weekends. So
Right, right, right. All right. Hey, so we are running up on time, and I got young people's money to take later tonight. So why don't you hit Cory with the question?
okay, all right, Corey. It, I'm going to ask you a question. It's a question that we asked all of our guests. There's no right or wrong answers. Basically, it's kind of your opinion. We want to know, what is your definition of a bass head?
Pretty much anybody that loves music, be it sound good or bad, but you just got to be loud and proud.
I'm proud.
That's my definition of it. And just build it. And who cares what else, as long as you enjoy it,
Yeah.
that's all that matters, right?
Yep.
And I live in the country because I pissed all the neighbors off and the cops show up. So they still hear it a half a mile away from in here.
Wow.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
All right. Senior team classic. They're trying to get me to go somewhere.
The senior leagues, huh?
Dude, I'll have to talk to them later. They don't know I'm on a podcast. They're senior citizens. So anyway, all
What
right.
you got
So
there?
One of my
PPI?
little PPI right there.
one of my originals.
There you
Yeah.
go.
92 it says on there, yeah.
8
And
gauge.
then, yeah,
Whoa. What's that ring?
yeah, it's the rings. I never wear them. I always get picked on about it, but
Oh, look at that.
3
I
championships.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. 14, 15, 16.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, those are things that people strive to get. They really do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Steven says that was an awesome answer, by the way.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So how do people find you or talk to you, or are you on social media that people can look and see what you're doing for builds or anything like that?
No, I'm not too much social media. I got a little Snapchat and mostly the WhatsApp's about all I use. Yeah. TikTok, I just follow it.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
so the
Maybe
only
my
way they
daughter's
can
age.
so the only way they can see you and see what's going on is come to a show that you're at, right?
That's right. Or come hang out.
Come and hang out at your house.
Yeah. And one day I'm gonna do a show. I've thought about it for 10 years. Perfect place. I got 3 bays. If it's raining, you got,
Oh, wow.
flying
That's
up in the
bigger than
air,
the
right?
World Finals place.
Yeah. And I got 2 acres. People could camp and
That sounds
all
like
that
a
stuff.
good idea. I bet you if you talk to Ray or
Yeah.
Don, you can hold a 1X. Don can
Yeah.
help run a 1X, but if you want a multi-point, I'm sure Ray would may be able to
Yeah.
assist you there.
Is he out in your
Yeah.
area?
He's about 3 hours west, but he's been here a few times. Helped him out, fixed his Suburban for him so he could keep going on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Jeffrey. Well, what do you got going on, and tell us about you real quick.
Oh, yeah. So this month in January, Sunday, January 21st, we're doing a DB drag racing event at Crossfire Car Audio in Grapevine, Texas.
Mhm.
Check it out on the calendar. It's going to be another dual organization with USACI. For those of you guys getting last minute points for USACI for World Finals, I think they've extended their finals points deadline. So come check that out as well. A couple of shows I posted on the DB Drag Racing calendar is going to be in Cali that I'm doing a couple of
Oh,
shows, which, wow, now that after I put it on the calendar, I'm going to be kind of stretching myself pretty thin. It's going to be a show February 10th in Redlands, California, SoCal. And then February 17th, I just put on the calendar. It's going to be I'm going to be back in Bloomington with Robert Gallegos. So
uh-huh.
there's going to be that. And then there's, I guess we just announced it here on the show. February 24th, 25th is going to be the showdown out there in Vegas. So it seems like every weekend I'm going to be out in California in February. So
Get your
you guys are
frequent
out in that
flyer
area.
miles.
Exactly. Maybe it'll give me some time to hang out with my grandkid as well too. So
Oh yeah,
it'll
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
fun time, definitely.
that's awesome. For me, I don't have any more shows set up right now until Autorama. We may set up something in February or March just to kind of kick some stuff off and get the season going. But we're gonna stay with the same system I had last year: May, June, July, and August. We're gonna have 4 shows, one a month in each of my main 4 locations, which would be Jay's Alarms, Mellows Auto Repair, Reno, and nope, yeah, those 3. Well, Reno, which is so first it goes Jay's Alarms, then it goes Reno, which is at Baldini's, and then
Casino.
Mellows Auto Repair. So yeah, so that's three shows a month. Um, and they'll all be Saturday nights except for Jay's Alarms. So Reno and Mellows Auto will be Saturday night shows. And then obviously Autorama May 5th, which will have Jeffrey and uh, Ray and a whole bunch of other people. Eric Hansen's going to show up. We got Joel. So here's Joel trying to he'll do his best to be there at Redlands and Bloomington. So,
Nice.
but anyway, that's what we got going on. Lots of shows, lots of stuff. Looks like the rules are gonna stay the same. I don't really even know of any clarifications we're gonna do at the moment, but so the rules should be pretty similar again for this year. That's like 5 years in a row or something with no major changes to rules, so that's really cool. One thing they did talk about, which may happen, is maybe some name changes of the classes. But that's probably the biggest thing that's going to happen. And it's not changing the class, it's just changing the name. So, not a big deal. Other than that, um, I appreciate you guys for tuning in again. This is year number 4 for us. So this is year number 4 for This Week in Car Audio, season episode 1.
Season
Um,
4, episode 1.
that's right, season
Wow.
4, episode 1. So that's really cool. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to do this for as long as I have done it. I really appreciate Jeffrey being here. Cory, once again, I want to thank you for coming in. Hope you had a great time hanging out with us, just talking, bull crapping about car audio, just here talking about stuff we like. We all love this stuff and had an opportunity to do it. Want to thank our sponsors again. We got eBox Design and Install. We got Crossfire Car Audio and Voodoo Customs. Remember to support those who support the things that you guys like. So these guys are awfully obviously big deals in the car audio industry, and let them know that This Week in Car Audio is why you're supporting them, and that way we can all see, that they can see that it's worth their time and effort to help support this podcast. Once again, thank you, Cory. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yes.
We will see you guys next week. 4 years. I remember when we were testing on Facebook. That's what. Yep. That's what
Testing.
Tiffany says. Yes, we were testing to try and set it all up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been 4 years. So, anyway, once again, thank you guys for being part of this. Thank you to people watching us back at home
Yes.
and listening to us on the podcast and whatnot. We'll have all that going up again. I'll have that set up for tomorrow. Other than that, thank you once again. Um, have a good night. We'll see you next week, 5:30 California time, the only time that matters. Peace. We out.
Thank you.